Let's do another sealed deck. 2013, taking the booster battle pack cards and then adding 5 more packs and seeing what we can make. Step 1, we'll just lay out what we already have. Angel's Mercy, Attendant Knight, Captain's Call, Crusader of Audric, Glorious Charge, and War Falcon. This is a white-red deck. Essence Scatter, Dark Favor, Mark of the Vampire, Walking Corpse, Arms Dealer, Blade Tusk Boar, Crater Eyes, Krenko's Command, Mark of Mutiny, Trumpet Blast, Volcanic Strength, and Wild Guess. Elvish Visionary, Moonvolley Beast Tracker, Naturalized Prey Upon. Door to Nothingness, and Giant Day Tome, and then just a bunch of lands. Alright, let's see what else we get. Will it stay white and red? Probably. I mean, that's what happened with the other packs, but we'll see. Mind Sculpt, Downpour, Essence Drain, Centaur Corsair, Duress, Welcome Turn, Vastwood Gorger, Val Rebirth, Canyon Minotaur, Duskmantle Prowler, another Giant Day Tome, another Moonvolley Beastwalker, and a Quirion Dryad, which whenever you cast a white, blue, black, or red spell, basically a non-green spell, it gets a counter. That's kind of beastly. That's pretty good. And a Foil Mountain, guys. Foil Mountain, that's kind of cool. Alright. I mean, that's probably going to go in the deck if I stay red. Just because it's foil. I mean, how do you not put a Foil Mountain in your deck that you opened? I mean, if you're playing the colors. If you're playing the colors. Alright. Let's see what's next. We got Kindled Fury. Titanic Growth is pretty good. Shonda's Fury is pretty good. Warclamp Mastiff is pretty bad. Deadly Recluse is pretty good. Wildfire is not terrible. Is not great. Bloodthorn Vampire is not bad. Scroll Thief is not bad. Griff Protector is pretty good. Also, that gets benefits off of creatures entering the battlefield, which, you know, works really well with what I'm doing. Timberpack Wolf is pretty good. Gem of Becoming is not really that good in these colors. Fogbank is not bad. Reliquary Tower is not terribly good. Clone is pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. It's a card that would make you want to consider playing blue. Nothing bomby though. Nothing that makes me go, I'm gonna win the game with this yet. Just yet. Okay, the Mill Strategy creature, the Entrancer, Wild Guess, Dark Favor, Centaur Corsair, Merfolk Portal Trident, another Blade Tusk Boar, Divine Favor, Essence Scatter, Dragon Hatchling, Encrust, Ring of Zathrid, which is, I believe, the black one that gets a token. It's not bad. It's not bad. Ring of Thune works on white. It's not bad either. Courtly Provocateur definitely makes oh, Sarah Avatar. Wow. Well, I mean, that kind of guarantees you playing white. It's pretty good. And Drake token in the mountain. Provocateur is not bad. This is almost enough to make me consider going blue, because the clone and the Provocateur are, I mean, granted there's not a lot of removal, like red has better removal right now, but the Encrust helps, the Essence Scatter slows things down. Blue, white might be a possibility. Shonda's Fury does, yeah, well, Shonda's Fury is pretty good. Not great, but it's okay. Archaeomancer, Safe Passage, Hydra Surge, Mark of the Vampire is not bad. Walking Corpse is okay. Garvin Arsonist, Bountiful Harvest, Invaders are pretty good. Colonia, well, now we have 3 wings in this. It's not terribly good, but it's something. That's removal. That's really good removal. That's also really good removal. And a board wipe. And that makes me reconsider red very much so. So now I gotta reconsider red, because that Magma Quake plus Volcanic Geyser is kind of like definitely things to consider. These are not great. Flunkies are not great. Harbor Serpent's not great. That's terrible. Scorpion's pretty good in black. Windrake's pretty good. Sunstriker's not bad. Primal Hunt Beast is not bad. Welcome Turn is not bad. Krenko's Command is pretty good. Another Ring of Thune. Another Gem of Becoming. Jace's Phantasm is not terribly good. And Fervor, creatures control have haste, which is not bad. Okay, let's take a look. So white, I think, is going to be in with 2 Rings of Thune, the Sarah Avatar, which can be really big. I mean, it's going to be really big in a lot of ways. And then it just gets bigger. As long as you're alive, you know. It's bad towards the late game, but... Let's see, what do we have? Sarah Avatar is pretty good. Sunstriker's pretty good. It ties pretty well with Sarah Avatar. This is not great. I'm going to keep it just in case I need it, but I probably won't. Rain of Blades is not very good at all, because it does it once, and then it's out. Safe Passage is probably out. Divine Favor is probably out. Griffin Protector is probably in, being a flyer 2/3 that can get really big, so that's definitely in. Warclamp Master is probably out. Mercy's out. Attendant Knight is really good. Captain's Call is pretty good. Crusader of Audric teams up well with those. War Falcon is a maybe. You gotta have soldiers or knights. I don't know if there's enough of them. So this is a maybe. That's another soldier. So this is also a maybe. These are the maybes. I think these are all out. And then these are almost all certainly in. Along with the Ring of Thune. Because it works really well with all these white creatures. Even the tokens. So these are all things to consider. Blue. Blue turned out to be a pretty good pull in this group. Phantasm is not going to be in. Turn is in. Drake is in. Out. Maybe. In. Out. Maybe. I mean, this is just, it's so much, it can do so much havoc. So that's probably in. This is removal. This is maybe. This is out. This is out. This is in. If we're playing, yeah, that's also a really good defender. That's decent. That's decent. This is maybe. This is out. This is maybe. So we don't have a bomb, but we have actually a lot of ways of getting in damage with 2 Welcome Turns, and then, you know, ways of slowing down the game for us. So this blue is definitely worth considering. White and blue so far not bad. White is, of course, is definitely in. All right, let's look at black. This is good. This is not worth playing, but I'll play it if I have to. As far as enchantments go, this is really expensive. It can get 2 for 1, lifelink, 2/2/2, and lifelink is not bad, but at the same time, like, it costs 4 mana, and getting 2 for 1 is pretty bad with it. I think I'd only play this if I had hexproof creatures to put it on. Mind Rot is not terribly good. Ring of Zathrid is not bad because it does actually protect your creatures that have been marked, and it just makes your creatures bigger. So I'm going to put that as a play. Again, Dark Favor, same reason that Mark of Vampire is no good. Bloodthrone Vampire is only good if I have token generators or, you know, super cheap creatures that get benefit off of dying. Duskmantle Prowler, I don't understand this. Like, it's a haste creature, so it can attack the turn it comes in and maybe become a 3/3 by itself. Like, or I mean, what? 4 mana? I don't know. I don't think it's great. 4 mana for a 2/2 is not terribly good, I think. This is probably a 2/2 for 1 mana, but not at the beginning of the game, so it's kind of slow. I'll put it towards the bottom here. Duress is sideboard. Essence Drain is removal. Dark Favor again. Mark of the Vampire again. Walking Corpse again. I think black is not terribly inspiring. I don't think there's a lot in here that says, oh, you should play this color. So I think it's out. I think at best it's going to be a splash. So I'm going to put it out temporarily and then just probably remove it altogether. Red, Fervor. This can be quite good in attacks. Krenko's command is pretty good. Malflox is not. That's just board wipe. It's pretty good. Volcanic Geysers, removal. That's pretty good. Arsonist is not bad. Chandra's Fury is kind of not good. Like, it's a lightning axe that can remove a 1 type face, but it's not really that impressive. Dragon Hatchling is not bad. It's a way to use good mana. Blade Tusk Boar with Intimidate is actually pretty good. It's not really good, but it's pretty good. Like, Evasion is definitely worth playing. So I'm gonna put it in the definite reasons to play. This is, I guess this is red looting, and that's a maybe. Like, just being able to go through your cards is not bad, but it's also not. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's worth playing the color for, but it's definitely something to consider if I am in the color. Wildfire is not terribly good. Again, Chandra's Fury, Lightning Axe, only if I need to close out the game. Kindle Fury, it's not bad. As a trick goes. It's not like removal, but it's not bad as a trick goes. Minotaur is just a guy. I'll put him in if I need to. Arm Sealer takes advantage of all the tokens that are generated, so I think it's worth considering. And it can stack itself to do damage. I think that's pretty good. Blade Tusk Spore is pretty good. Craterize is not good at all. 2 Crankos commands kind of means that I should play red. And Mark of the Mutiny is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's a way of removing a blocker and finishing the game. Trumpet Blast, if we go wide, then it'll blow everybody out. So that's definitely worth considering as well. Volcanic Strength is not really that good. Again, removal will just ruin Volcanic Strength, so I think it's certainly not really worth playing, but I'll keep it in mind. Wild guess. Okay, red is definitely a consider. Let's look at green. It seems kind of thin comparatively, so I think it's probably out, but we'll look. Hunt Beast is decent, especially with something like Ring Colonia. Harvest is bad. Courser is a body. It's a decent body. Timberpack Wolf. Do I have more than one Timberpack Wolf? No. So it's a 2/2 for 2. Well, it's better than your average bear, so I'll put it in the play it if I have to. Recluse is really good. Titanic Growth is a pretty good thing to do. This is really good if you're playing any other color, because it'll just get big, because every time I cast a spell it's going to get a counter. So that is a reason to consider playing green, or splashing green at least. Maybe even just splash it for the one card. If I had fixing, then I would consider it. So this is kind of a bomb. This grabs another creature, but I don't think there's a lot of things that it's going to grab, so I'm going to put a little lesser. The Gorger is endgame of sorts, but not amazing. Center Courser is well priced. Elvish Visionary is okay. It's worth considering. I have 2 trackers. Wow. But not a lot of targets for it. Naturalize is strictly sideboard. Prey Upon is removal. It could be worth just splashing 1 green if I had the fixing to play this Dryad, because this Dryad can get pretty bonkers over the course of the game. But it's a splash at best. I mean, there are cards that I'd be willing to splash here. The Recluse, the Dryad, basically just those 2. Maybe Prey Upon, if I need more removal. So this is splash at best. Let's take a look at what's left. No. JMJ Tome. If I had ramp and had some way to get to these JMJ Tomes, I would consider it, but it's really slow. Like, it costs 4 to cast and then 4 again to do something. Endure to Nothingness does nothing in this deck. So I think I'm not playing any of these. Yeah, that's a lot of mana. A lot of mana that I'm probably not going to have. So let's start with white and red and maybe blue, and we'll take a look. I have no fixing, so I think, even in green I have no fixing, so I think playing the green splash card is going to be just for the 1 card. But this is in. This is in. This is in. This is in. Black is out. Captain's Call is in. Crusader's in. Glorious Charge is definitely worth considering. These are all worth considering. And we'll consider these other ones too. But first, let's see. I'm gonna play Magma Quake because that's a board wipe and that's worth playing. Volcanic Geyser is almost pretty good too. I think these both have to be in. Blade Tusk Spores have evasion, so they're definitely going to be considered. I think all these token generators are probably must plays. And the Arsonist, which synergizes with the Dealer. Fervor can do some pretty crazy things. Dragon Hatchlings a maybe. Market Mutinies a maybe. Trumpet Blast is a maybe. All this stuff I think I'm going to hold on. Because right now, like, I'm really short on creatures. Like, I'm gonna have to play lesser creatures, like the Minotaur, the Flunkies, the Guardians, and the War Falcon in order to get up there with the creatures. Now, granted, the Krenko's commands and the Captain's Call count as creatures. For the purposes of this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's not bad. This is a possible way to play this game. Now let's see what happens if I consider blue instead. If I consider blue, I'm gonna get a lot more creatures. Maybe not a lot more, but I'm gonna get some more creatures. Fairy Invaders, Windrake, Welcome Turns. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna have a clone, which can get their best creature or the best of my creatures. Fogbank will block indefinitely. Courtly Provocateur is not bad at all either. And then this has only these two spells as removal, so that's not terribly good either. Going blue would net me Essence Scatter, which is not really removal, and Crust. So if I go blue, I think I get better creatures overall. They don't play to this sort of go wide and murder everything that I have going on here. Because, you know, Trumpet Blast matched with the Glorious Charge and everybody going wide and attacking is pretty good. But I have to think about this because Magma Quake does not do very well as a board wipe if I'm already going wide, because it'll destroy everything. It destroys my guys specifically. So I don't know. I don't know about red. I mean, the synergy between Captain's Call, the Krenko's commands, and the Crusader of Audric and the Attendant Knight is pretty good, but I don't know if that's going to be good enough, because I just don't have a lot of white creatures. If I go green, I get the Ring of Colonia. I would get, I get no removal besides the one Prey Upon. And then, what am I looking at? Korean Dryad, Beast Trackers are out. I have a Trick. I don't know if this is good enough. I don't know if this is good enough to go green. I think I could just play this one card in any non-green deck with, you know, a handful of green lands, and it would be worth playing. Because, again, it gets really big. But is it worth it instead to just go blue? Blue and white? Blue and red? I'm not entirely certain. And then take advantage of all these flyers at the top of the Welcome Turns, the Windrakes, the Fairy Invader. I guess it's not a ton of creatures. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a utility feature. This duplicates the best creature. 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it might be better just to not do blue. Even though the flyers are really good, I think this go wide plan here is actually a touch better. And maybe even splashing green, because I don't know, all those whites and the reds make me really nervous about splashing green for even the Dryad. I mean, she's really strong, but again, like, I have to cast a spell for it to go off. And then, I'm granted everything I have is colored, so it's not like I have to worry too much about casting the spells. The creatures in green are a little bit, I think, better bodied, but I don't know if it's worth splashing for the one card. This artifacts are out. Just nothing really strong there, aside from the Rings of Thune. Rings of Thune can be put on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. I guess I can use these as Ursat's removal. And this is Reach. Like, this is a pretty aggressive deck. Magma Quake can sort of white clear the board if I need to. So maybe I just go with this. Like, I'm gonna be going wide enough that I think the War Falcon might even be able to get in there. And it can block. You just can't attack unless I have one of either this, this, or its token. I don't know if that's enough. I don't think that's enough for the War Falcon. Well, I guess if I put the Guardians in. Let's see how many cards I have right now. First. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it could take up to 2 more cards. Giving my guys Exalted is not great. It does create a ground blocker, but an 04 doesn't trade at all. I think maybe another Canyon Minotaur, just to add another body, and a Kindled Fury as a way of getting through. I don't know if I want this many Rings of Thune, considering that my creature count is pretty low, and there's only so many creatures I can stick it on. Now, it will go bonkers if it's attached to any one of these creatures, but it's only bonkers if it's attached to a white creature, right? And how many white creatures do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 on the Captain's Call? And I don't know how good Fervor is, considering... I mean, yeah, Fervor lets me just drop the Dragon Hatchling and blow out my opponent through the air, so that's not terrible. As well as being able to just turn all my guys sideways on the turn I cast them. As well as using... Well, I guess I don't really have any tap abilities that I have to worry about. But that'll let Blade Tuskboar and a lot of guys just get in there, so I'll consider keeping this, but I don't think I will. And I don't know about this Dryad. Like, I have a lot of cards. I mean, for the sake of creatures, I'm going to count these as creatures, and this as a creature. So really, with non-creatures, I have 9. And maybe this will be in the deck. 9 versus 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 versus 13. I could still add another card. It could be the Guardians. It could be Safe Passage. Because that is a way to blow out. Could be the draw. I don't think the draw... This looting draw is terribly good. Like, this deck is already going pretty low. Low to the ground, so I don't think it's that good. And Fury, I don't know. Like, will it get in? Will it beat? Is it a way to finish? Maybe. Maybe as reach. Maybe a Fury for reach. Or maybe a Quirion Dryad, but I think destabilizing my mana base is not worth it for just this one card, which could come at the end of the game, and then it wouldn't be that good. It would grow very slowly. Oh, but then again, it does... Yeah. That's a maybe. Maybe a Chandra's Fury. Maybe the Guardians. I don't think the Guardians. Yeah, the Guardians are out. So, maybe Safe Passage. So these are the 3 that I'm considering as the final card in the deck. And as the final card in the deck, or I could remove a Ring of Thune as well, because giving these little guys vigilance is not terribly good. It's best on a bigger creature, or a creature that, you know, has at least some good toughness, which none of these guys have. I mean, Crusader Vodric is an obvious choice, and this is an obvious choice. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24. Wait. How's my counting? 5, 8, 13, 14. 14 plus 9 is 23. So that's 23. So actually, it's actually done. So I'm just gonna go, well, I think Kindled Fury is probably the weakest of the bunch. Like, it's just 1 mana. And giving First Strike is not bad. It lets me trade, but I don't know. Is it worth it? This is an endgame trick. This is an endgame trick. And they're both ways of blowing out my opponent too, like trading up. So those are worth keeping. I think I'm gonna trade out Kindled Fury because it's so low impact, I think, or 1 for 1 with a Chandra's Fury, especially because my creatures' bodies are pretty small. I think the First Strike is not going to be terribly good. But Chandra's Fury, on the other hand, is a way of closing out the game. It's an instant, so I don't have to cast. I can cast it on their turn, and then, you know, after combat even, I could finish off creatures. This is not great, but, you know, it's a way of ending the game, and I think doing that is probably going to be the best. This is a bit on the expensive side. Although, you know, this actually matches better with Magma Quake, so maybe this. And maybe put in Sounders Fury if I feel like, from the sideboard. If I feel like I need the reach to get there. So Safe Passage. Well, I guess, yeah, I could blow out a few creatures if I spend 4 and 7. Or, you know, tie this with one of these to blow things out. Maybe? Over Chandra's Fury? Or do I just go face? I think it's better. I think I'll do this. Because this can't target specifically. This will let me do weird things like triple block, quadruple block, and then save all my guys. So, the plan is go wide, burn things out at the end with the geyser, and then go wide, steal blockers, and attack on the fervor, which could steal me wins, like if this guy or, you know, whatever. So that's this deck. And again, if there's a bunch of thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like. If I get enough likes, then I'll go ahead and get Bobo to play the game with me with this and the previous deck and see who is the big winner. And let me know what you think about the deck and the opens, and that's all. Goodbye.